Hi everybody, the YouTubers. This is Dave here once again. Got you a nice little tool that I've knocked up. This is two tools in one. As you can see, it is broaching the gear wheel, so it's put a nice little slot in there, and also it does the witness lines on the lathe. So this is how it works. There's the handle. So there we are. So that's broaching the gear wheel. So that's knocking the gear wheel, right? And to get the different lengths of witness lines, that's what that's for. So you can just dial it, and there's a little button inside with a spring, and it just locks in. Those in the end of there is some little holes, and they're all different depths, so that gives you the different depths of the hole, and that's that bit. Right, what I did is this bit here, I nickel plated that, and all the other parts you can see are nice and shiny. That bit there, that was nickel plated, so was all that, just to stop them from going rusty really. This bit here is chrome plated because it was a suspension leg of a car, and then what I did is I fixed this on the end. This is a separate piece that was welded and then pinned as well, and then I put a slot in there so that you can get your movement. That's how that works. Drilling that is really difficult because this is extra hard, and to ream the block to get it right, what I did is I used a piece of the bar that I was going to use, which is there. Look, you see this groove I put in it, and I turned that into a reamer because it's so hard, and that was one of the suspension legs. There's the other. This is the other leg. There we are. Look, so there's the other leg. If I can show you, that what was in there. That's, believe it or not, this one was particularly good because it was 20mm bang on. So that was a result. I've got two more suspension legs, but they're 22.5mm legs, which is really, you'd have to do what I've just done there. These legs aren't all the same. Right, the tool here is exchangeable. This is the one for doing the witness lines, and that fits in there. Just nice and easy. There's only a bit of 1/2" bar and plonks straight in, which makes that nice and easy. And that, as you can see, works just nice. So that's the latest tool that we've knocked up. So if you wanted to make one of these, it is not that difficult. To get the measurements, what I did is it just came out with a piece of bar, wasn't fussy with the measurement from that point there to that point there, it doesn't really matter. I gave it 25mm. To get that measurement right between that point there and that point there, what I did is you put the handle right in as far as it'll go up against the stop, and then measure between those 2 points. That's how you get that. The centre of this one here, this point here to out there, is obviously the centre of that. So you just take that measurement and drill a hole. That's how easy that was. This bit here was nothing special, just a bit of flat plate. Drilled a hole, and I've split it with the saw in the middle to make a clamp. So it's got a slot in there, then it's got an 8mm bolt through the bottom. That is 10mm bar, and just put a pin in the top so you can adjust that pin to wherever you want it to in relationship to what you're doing. So the idea is then that you can make your dials, which I have done. You can make these dials any time, and because you can turn that dial on the top, that gives you the different depths, so you can count how many times you've done. And then if you crafty, you can use the gear wheel on your lathe as your dividing head, and this is here is a spring-loaded stop lock. So that springs into there, no problem. So it drops into the gear wheel each time. So you turn the gear wheel, drop that in, and there's your dividing head. So all I've got is a clamp on there at the moment. Nothing fussy. So you can use that as your dividing head. It's not difficult, is it? So that's all I've done. And it did take a fair while to make it because this bar is so hard. You can't even file that. And what I did, I used a really hard tool for that to cut it. I used one of these there. That's another homemade tool. So there you can see where I've brazed it on the end. And that's a homemade tool. But that in the end there, that carbide is off the milling cutter. And that is exceptionally hard. Even harder than a normal one. But yeah, that's just one of the little tools that I've knocked up. Then what else did I do? Oh yeah, might as well put that one there. Look. I knocked this one up for the lathe, and it's got a little hinge in it. So this gives you some ideas of what you can do. And this is for threading, so it'll actually flip back out the way. So if you wind the machine back, then you can flip it back in again. And if you get it wrong, it'll just, if you put it in reverse, it will just flip the tool up like that. So it's handy. There's just one I made, and all these tool holders here I've made. I made the tool post, which was nice little tool post, and to get it to do the opposite, you just turn the tool post over. So you don't need to make two slots and two keyways. You just flip it over, done. So that's what I did, just to make it nice and easy. And I didn't buy these, I made these diamond tool cutters. So that's all I did, I made that to give you some sort of idea. And they call it a diamond shaped tool because of the shape of when you've ground it at that angle. And that works a treat, and it's cost you pennies. That was started life as a bit of 20mm bar. So there we are. I don't think I can tell you any more today. I hope this helps you on doing your little bits and pieces. But the idea is that you've got two tools in one, and so now you can broach your gear wheels and put your little slots in, and also do the witness lines on your dials. I have made a load of dials on another machine I made. So this is the latest thing that I've made. Little ball bearings in there, and that makes it so easy. And I numbered them so I know which one's which when I'm using it. That's not difficult, is it? Look at that, and it works nice. But the hardest part was electroplating, to get the electroplating right. And what I did to electroplate, excuse the old jumpy camera for a minute, we will go down where I made the electroplate. Right, this is what I used. This is the electroplate. So what I did to make that, there is a nickel strip. I bought nickel strips on Amazon, so that's 100% nickel, or close to it anyway. There's the jam jar. There's the power supply, which is an old computer power supply, and you've got a 3V on there, which is what I used. So the anode's there, and the cathode is obviously the black one. You attach the black one to the metal that you're doing, and the anode to your bit of metal that you want to do. And you can see how much is done. That was a piece of copper wire that I put round the component, and that's what it's done to it. So it's copper the other end, look, and there it is on the other end. That's how much plating it took. So that's pretty good. But the mixture in the jar was 1 tablespoonful of salt and half water out of the tap and half white vinegar. So that's what I've got in there for the mixture for plating, and that seemed to work quite well. It was using less than ½ an amp of power, and once you've used it a few times it gets better and better. But 10 minutes it took, and they're plated. So anyway, this is Dave signing off. Don't forget the bits at the bottom, thumbs up or thumbs down, and don't forget to subscribe and click that old bell at the side if you want to see any more videos in the future. This is Dave signing off. Catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye, we're gone.